I had a girl bringing her 95-year-old mom today in the store. Cute little old lady. She was like bent over, walking in a walker, coming up like this, but just with the biggest smile on her face. You can really tell how many old people have been happy for a really long time versus how many old people have been mad forever. Anyway, she comes in. She has had a flip phone since flip phones were invented. She needed a smartphone today. She was switching into an iPhone, and she was visibly terrified, but like very excited about it. Girl comes up. She's like, "Hey, I need you to help my mom get set up with a flip phone. She knows nothing, and I don't really know anything either." I can do that. I do that all the time. They told them, no problem. Like, we'll get her set up. We'll do a basic one. I'll get everything transferred over. I'll see what I can do, and then I'll show her how to use it. Daughter then says to me, one stipulation, she cannot download any games, no matter what. We had a Sudoku debacle about 3 years ago, and I will not be having any more of that again. Okay, well, I now need to know what the Sudoku debacle was, because if you have a title for it in your family, it was a momentous occasion. This big old grin on her face, and the mom now sitting down in her walker, because it was one of those flip around little chair ones, is like hanging her head down. She's giggling about it, but you can tell she's a little embarrassed. She's like, about 3 years ago, we got my mom an iPad for Christmas. 14-year-old showed her how to use it, and one of the books that she had all the time was the Sudoku ones where you write it down with a pencil as you go down. At some point, a credit card got set up on that Apple ID account, so when she was making purchases and able to download apps and stuff, it was just saved, right? She leans over the desk to me and very quietly says, my mom spent $13,000 on Sudoku. Which is an objectively insane number. Apparently, it was over the course of like 6 months, and just nobody checked the credit card statements, and they kept auto-paying it, and nobody was paying any attention. Which, good on them, apparently they were well enough off that it didn't matter. He says, under no circumstances can she download games again. I look over to the little old lady, because she's been sitting there very quietly, just kind of head in hands, just chuckling. I'm like, well, how exactly did you spend $13,000? She tells me that she thought that buying the little hearts with the extra lives for when you get answers wrong was just buying them with like coins from the game, and she had no idea that those coins were actually set up to dollars. Which tells me this lady sucks at Sudoku. But you know what it also means? It also means that she has the heart of a champion. She will never give up. That lady's going to live to 105 out of sheer willpower alone. She was still looking really embarrassed about it, so I was like, hey, don't even worry about it. It happens to the best of us. I had a buddy at one point who spent $3,000 on Clash of Clans, and nothing is worse than that. I barely even played it, just spent $3,000 to make the walls look cool. I sent him away for about an hour and a half to get the phone set up. I got to build her everything, I got to transfer all the contacts, all that kind of stuff, right? An hour and a half later, they come back, and she's doing her little old lady walker, going back up to the desk. She hits the desk, she looks at me with a little smirk on her face, and she says, hey, I got you something. She pulled out a pocketbook that said Sudoku for old ladies. It's like pink and this big. She's like, I got this for you. I did a couple pages in that book. It turns out I suck at Sudoku too.